So, I have a request to start out with. Seems like you guys are in another world and I'm in another world. You know, like I have leprosy or AIDS or something, you can't get any closer. I'd appreciate if you just come closer. We're here to communicate. We're here to commune. Not somebody standing way back there. I'm here to connect with you. I hope you are too. Yeah. Thank you. urgen유기누 점섬 배말개서당 올라 양센주기뉴 주미 배마주녀시 수좌 골드간조마 보골 계기제수다 주기 진길업지시 수소 구르페마 시리흥 울겐유기누 잠삼 배말개서 당보라 양센주기뉴 주녀 배마주녀시 수좌 골드간조마 보골 객기제수 딱주기 진길업지시 수수 그룹에마 시리움 At the Orgian's northwestern frontier, on a stem and corona of a lotus flower, wondrous supreme accomplishment attained, as lotus-born renowned, encircled by retinue of many dakinis, so that I may become like you. Please come and grant your blessing. Guru Padma Siddhi Hum. So what I like to do is start out by just taking a deep breath. Deep breath and just simply totally expelling everything. Just if this is a way for us to just start to let go so we can start to be really relaxed. Okay? Just let yourself relax. Just relaxing can be the total meditation. If you can just relax. So if the relaxing becomes a chore, or you have to expend too much energy to try to relax, then you're working against yourself. That's when we have to refresh ourselves. Just by simply taking a deep breath again and just letting go. Just taking a deep breath and just simply, totally expelling, breathing out. That's how we refresh ourselves. Start over. Keep it fresh. Main thing is just simply being able to relax. Not how long you can relax. Just forget about that. Main thing is just really experience the relaxing. Even if it's just for a second. Just to feel that. Get the taste of real relaxation. Just let the relaxation take over. Surrender to relaxation. By simply letting go. Letting things be. Where we don't have to do anything or be anything. Don't forget to refresh yourselves if you get dull and unclear. Just simply start over by breathing in and just breathing out. So just relaxing, is that too easy? Do you feel that you can really relax when I say relax? Can you? Huh? Okay, that's good. Then we have to find out why not. Why not? If the relaxing is like such an important part of meditation, especially certain meditation, not so much concentrated meditation, but non-concentrated meditation, non-effortful meditation, that is so important.
For me,
Mike.
For me, I think it's got a lot to do with my mind going off to all of the other things that could be going on in my life, and I can tend to get drawn.
Hold the mic closer. I want other people to hear.
I think I get distracted with all of these thoughts of the things that could be going on in the future and things that need to be done, or
You mean all the thoughts?
all the thoughts.
All the different thoughts that rise?
And it's hard for me to stay in the moment because of them.
Yeah, because that's the habit. That's the conditioning. That's the condition most of us are in. That's why we can't just simply relax, simple as it may sound. So, if that's what prevents us from relaxing, then what can we do? I want to hear from other people also.
So for me, it feels like there's sort of two parts to me. I can relax my body, like I just in the past few minutes was able to relax my body. But to relax my mind seems like a formidable task. It's a constant. It goes off, and then I bring it back, and then it goes off, and I bring it back.
How can that be when you can't separate the mind from the body?
But we do. In Western culture, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
So that's a kind of a misperception. Because you can even logically just see how you can separate the body from the mind.
Well, the body's feeling and the
What is the body without the mind?
The body feels and the mind thinks. So they're two different tasks.
No, they're not.
Okay. I'm open to learning.
Body feels, the mind, that's what is feeling. How can you say body feels? It's the mind that's actually experiencing the feeling. Do you see why you can't separate the mind from the body? That's the first thing you have to be clear about. Since the mind is inseparable, not that different from the body, so if you can really relax your body, the mind will automatically start to relax. It's like, you don't have to do a separate thing to relax the mind. You see that?
I hear you. I'm just not sure I can do it quite yet, but I'll get there maybe.
Hey, Brendan. Thank you again for coming back. Thank you for coming back.
I had no choice.
Just like the gentleman, at first I actually was relaxing,
Yeah,
and then my mind wandered off,
exactly.
and I got carried away,
Yep,
and then I wasn't so relaxed.
right.
That's my experience.
That's why I said refresh yourself, start over. Take the deep breath again. You see, this is how we can, one of the ways we can start to really relax. Allow ourselves to relax, okay? First of all, we have to slow the mind down. We can't be involved in 1,000 things and then try to relax, Just slow the mind down and just take a deep breath. So your mind is totally one with the breath when you breathe out. So your mind is just totally going out. You no longer, the mind so mind is just totally taken over, when you just breathe out. At the end, you just be there. Just experience that automatic, subtle absence, that calmness after you breathe out, totally breathe out. You can experience that, right? That's what we want to become clearer. That's what we want to extend. See, we're not making it right after we breathe out. Totally breathe out. There's no time. If you don't do anything, if you just breathe out, just let it be. That's the natural relaxation, deep relaxation. That's how we can start. You get the taste, you repeat the taste, keep on doing it, the taste automatically gets longer and clearer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But,
No, I was gonna say I look forward to your weekend teachings.
huh?
I look forward to your weekend teachings, to your teachings this weekend.
What do you think I'm doing now? What do you think I'm just playing around?
No, I just mean delving deeper into it. That's all I mean. But
Yeah. This is an important part of the teaching. There's nothing, actually on the whole path, we think of the path as being so complex, so arduous, so complicated. But in a way, basically, all we're doing is just letting things go. That's what the practice is about. Especially in terms of the innate great perfection, which means we're innately perfect and complete. If we're innately perfect and complete, then we shouldn't be making or tinkering around or doing anything to try to make it perfect and complete. What we want to do is we want to clear the obstruction and the obscurations which prevents us from being innately perfect and complete. And this is one of the ways you do it. You do it by letting go. It's because of all the things that we're holding on, like all the preconceptions, all the ideas that we have about what's real, what's not real. Any idea of reality is not real. That you can be certain of. What is real is beyond all ideas.
thank you.
So this is a big part of the teaching. It's the main part of the teaching. But it's not in a complicated language or sophisticated language that maybe you're expecting. It's in plain English. Come on, you got something more than this. This can't be it, right?
No, I think you make a point when you talk about us mortals just making it more complicated than need be.
It is. I'm trying to simplify. You want me to try to make it more complicated? Have you visualized that 1,000-arm Avalokiteshvara?
I'm good.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi.
Okay. I've been thinking about this idea of complete.
Of what?
Complete.
Innate, complete, and
Yeah.
perfection, yeah.
I don't think I've experienced that. You know, there's always.
Okay, hold on a second. You're telling me I don't think I experienced that. First of all, that can't be experienced through thinking. So what does that tell you?
Quit thinking.
You see, we listen to the thinking mind. We use the thinking mind to be our judge. We use something that's not qualified to be our judge. But that's all we have. So what are we going to do, right? That's why we need someone to show you the real judge.
The real judge. Okay, that's a clue.
Huh?
The real judge. Huh. So,
Real judge is the experience itself.
okay.
So in the beginning, it's important to just believe that. We all, somewhere or another, to a certain extent, we experience that. Innate goodness, innate perfection, innate completeness, innate happiness. That's not totally separate from the happiness that you can experience or you have experience of. Otherwise, you wouldn't be drawn. We somehow intuitively, subconsciously or unconsciously, have some contact or connection because that's who you really are. Otherwise, if you didn't have that element, you wouldn't be able to experience the compassion, the open-heartedness, the empathy. That's where it comes from. See, we're all mixed up. It's obscured and obstructed by all our afflictions and negativities. As I said, all the preconceptions and so forth. So those are the dominant things that prevents us from really being that. So by relaxing, what it allows us to do is start to allow ourselves to experience that automatically. See, when we're relaxed, we're not lost. We're not holding on. We're not grabbing.
Right.
We're letting everything go. That's what relaxing is.
Stop striving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't that why do you think relaxing makes you feel good?
Right.
That's why. Just simply relaxing.
Yeah.
You know, there's many different levels of relaxing. You know, conceptual state of relaxation, non-conceptual state of relaxation, partial relaxation, total relaxation. Total relaxation is a state where you automatically disappear. This sense of I, this ego, automatically disappears. That's the ego or the self that prevents you from being who you really are. Prevents you from totally being relaxed. So we don't usually use the term relaxation, you know, like in this way or to this extent. But relaxation can be the total meditation.
That sounds good. I like it. Okay.
So talking about relaxation, so anybody else before I
Thank you.
start? Okay, so if we can't relax, and as you said, the thinking and the habits, yeah, all the ideas that prevents us from being able to let go and just be able to relax. So what can we do? What can we do so we can really relax more? So we can start to be who we really are, which is innately perfect and complete. Any ideas? Huh?
She said, take drugs.
Huh?
Take drugs.
Okay. Or have sex, I don't know.
To relax.
Take
That's what a lot-
drugs?
No, that's how a lot of people relax with an
Okay.
outside.
Well, that's a solution. That's
external-
temporary solution, but that's not going to solve the problem. You become a drug addict. Is that what you want?
No.
Okay. So that's not a good solution, right?
I don't have a solution. Here to learn.
Anybody? Huh?
Meditation.
Yeah. That's right. But what kind of meditation? There's thousands of different types of meditation. But you're right. Meditation can really help. How to relax. Many different types of meditation. Concentrated meditation is one. By being able to place our mind on one thing, our mind will start to relax. Because usually the mind is going in all different directions. It has no chance to relax. It's constantly expending energy in all different directions. If you can decrease that activity going out, it can start to relax. But you're still expending energy and concentrating on that object. But that's okay, initially. You remember when we did the meditation just simply observing the mind or being the mind. You remember that? Some of you do, right? So we'll do that. See if you can really start to relax, slow down the mind. Okay? We just don't want to talk about it, we want to do it. Okay? So let's do it. Find the mind, this experienceable mind, and just observe that mind. Just be that mind. Okay? That's all. Just find that mind, the experienceable mind, perceptible mind. Just observe that mind. Just be that mind. That's all. Nothing else. So find that mind and just observe that mind. Just be that mind. And if you become familiar, stable enough, then you could just let that mind be the mind. Just allow the mind to be the mind. So was that helpful in relaxing the mind? Everybody's confused, they don't know.
I had the experience of enjoying being aware without going out and latching on to anything. Just the five senses
Right?
kind of just sitting there, and that was relaxing because
Yeah, of course.
I just said, let's not go further than that.
Yeah. That's how we can start to relax ourselves automatically. Prevent the mind from getting scattered. Slow down the mind. Decrease the workload of the mind. Then they can start to automatically relax. You make it too busy, how's it going to relax? Just like if you get too busy doing too many things, how can you relax? Right? Same thing here. So this is one of the ways you can really start to relax. You know, I mean, a lot of us meditate because we want to feel good, right? This is how you can start to feel good. By just simply being able to relax the mind. But there are a lot of other benefits the more you go into it. In fact, the benefits can be inconceivable, beyond what you thought was possible. Just by being able to relax the mind. Mind can just totally be at peace. What would that be like? Nothing would be able to bother you or perturb you. if you can relax that way. You would be far out. So you don't have to take drugs to go far out. You can do it naturally. Subtly, naturally. So another way of relaxing the mind simply don't let the mind focus on anything. Okay, what happens when the mind focuses on different things? So that's what happens when we normally see, feel, and experience. Right? Now look at it. Take a second. For most of us, when we see, feel, and experience, we're automatically focusing. See that? Tell me if you're not focusing when you see, feel, or experience. Anybody? Huh?
Could you ask the question again? Just ask the question again, please.
Tell me if any one of you here, when you perceive, feel, and experience, if you're not focusing on what is seen, felt, or experienced. Is that clear? So, when you see, can you see without focusing? You can? Okay. Tell me how.
I guess that was the wrong answer.
Huh? The example would be, let's say, when I see this thing, I can either focus on what I'm seeing or not focus on what I'm seeing. So first of all, I want you to see the difference the best to your ability. Pick an object. See the difference when you focus on that object and when you don't focus on that object. Okay? First of all, gain clarity in that between focusing and non-focusing. Okay? Just take a moment. I want you to see the difference. Then tell me where you see things normally. Do you see things non-focusingly? Or do you see things focusingly?
I notice when I see an object,
Huh?
when an object
Yes.
comes into my field of vision, what I mostly focus on is my thoughts about that object rather than the object itself.
Well, you can say you're focusing on the thoughts.
Say that again.
You could say you're focusing on the thoughts. Seeing that, for most of us, is also a thought. So you can say that you're focusing on the thought.
Yeah, so it's very,
Yeah.
I work sometimes
Yeah.
very hard on just seeing
Right.
and trying to cut the conceptual
Yeah.
thought.
Not be focused. Not be a thought. Same thing. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Seeing something, focusing becomes a thought automatically. Okay? So, can you see that? Were you able to see the difference between focusing and non-focusing? Where you normally see? So how do you usually see when you see something? Do you see things non-focusingly or do you see focusingly?
For me, when I focus, I see more detail,
Of course.
and when I'm non-focusing, I have more sense of what it is,
Uh-huh.
but I'm not picking up the detail.
Right. So, what happens when we focus, why it's limiting, why it's like a dead end, okay? When we focus, we limit ourselves. We lose everything else. When we focus, we're stuck on the object of focus. Can you see that? Most important, when we focus, we forget the mind. We forget the seer, the focuser. We get totally lost in the focused. That means you don't know what the hell's going on. You're just stuck. You're stuck in the object of focus. That's why I let the water in the pan boil to dry and burn the pan. Because I'm focusing on something else. But that's how most of us operate. That's our normal modus operandi, right? We focus. If we really want to get into it, we got to focus, right? Yeah, if you want to pass, you got to focus on what you're studying, right?
Are you saying that one is better than another, or that we should be doing both at different times?
It depends what you want to do.
Well, let's say we want to meditate.
What?
If we want to meditate, for example, to meditate, should we be, I don't know if there's a should.
I just said depends what you want to do. Okay? If you're doing concentrated meditation, total concentrated meditation, then you should focus. Okay? But if you're doing non-concentrative, non-focusing meditation, then you shouldn't focus. So what happens, you see, this is the irony. When you take concentration, focusing to the extreme, when the focuser totally becomes what is focused, both the focuser and what is focused disappears. They become one. That's the power of concentration. And that is no different than non-focusing meditation. Totally non-focusing meditation. So when in focusing meditation, concentrated meditation, we totally focus, we totally concentrate on something. So you get to the point that you become that object. The duality disappears. There's no longer the focuser and the focused, or any sense of focusing. And that is the state of non-duality. That's the natural state. Natural state is a state of non-duality, where there's no separation between the seer and the seen, between the awareness and the objective awareness, between mind and objective mind. So when you become one, you're totally free, you're totally relaxed. So you've heard of the state of bliss of being. That's a state of non-duality, state of total oneness. Even the NFL football players feel that. Experience that. When they tell you they're in the zone, there's nothing else other than, just totally one with what they're doing. The movement. Musician, the same thing. Maybe the interesting story about Jimi Hendrix. You know that he tried to burn, he burned the guitar, right, on stage. You know that? He wanted to burn his guitar, right? Why do you think he did that? Huh? No, when he through his guitar, he could feel the oneness. He could lose himself. He could feel this great peace, this bliss of being one. But he couldn't do it without the guitar. So that's his way of saying, I got to get rid of this. He was trying to be free without anything. To be really free, you have to be free without anything, without having to do anything. Long as you have to do something to be free, you're not really free. See, that's his way of trying to go all the way. If he would have known about meditation, maybe he would have gone that way. So non-focusing meditation. Okay, let's do it. Just simply don't focus. You can pick an object, you can pick a feeling, you can pick the experience. Probably it's best if you're beginning to pick an object and just don't focus, okay? Which is probably not the way you usually perceive things, okay? Just simply don't focus. Don't worry about being clear or all the other stuff at this point. Just, all you want to do is just see what it feels like not to focus on what you're used to seeing, focusingly. So if we don't focus, we can't be stuck or lost in anything. Probably be helpful to have your eyes open when doing this meditation of non-focusing. Of course, you can do it with your eyes closed, but in the beginning, it'd be easier to do it with your eyes open. So one of the positive quality of this meditation is you really have to be aware and awake to do this practice of non-focusing. So do you experience the non-focusing? Any clarity? You know what I mean by non-focusing now? Good. There's great potential in this practice. It's very simple, easy to understand, also easy to do. Because we get distracted, we get lost by focusing. You see that? If we don't focus, we can start not to be lost, be totally distracted. Like for instance, how many of you are plagued sometimes by uncontrollable thinking? Well, you can apply the non-focusing. When the thoughts arise, you don't focus. Thoughts keep on continuing, gain momentum because we focus. It goes out of control because we focus. Just start applying the practice of non-focusing on the thoughts. And then they can't control you. It can't get out of hand. Why, if that works for you, that should be huge. You should really lower your drug cost. You know, people do many things because they can't stop thinking, because they can't really stop. They can't get away because it's the thinking that drives people crazy. They say, my wife drives me crazy, but you're thinking of your wife drives you crazy. It's not actually your wife or your husband. Really, when you analyze it is that. It's not, we attribute the outer object. No, it's the thought. Focusing on that thought. If we don't focus on that thought, the thought loses its power. I mean, that could be huge. Losing sleep, losing peace of your mind. Wow. Free.
Brandon, over here. Brandon, I noticed a quality of being in this non-focusing meditation.
Of course.
That for the first time I sensed the inseparability of the perceiver and the object being perceived.
See, that's the benefit. And the ultimate benefit is there's no difference between the source and the manifestation. So when you realize or actually see the source is the manifestation, and manifestation is the source. There's no difference between the source and the manifestation. This is probably a little bit out there for some of you, but that's okay. See that?
Yeah.
That's the implication here. That's why I said there's so much in this simple practice.
One thing that really puzzles me is there's always benefit to meditation. There's always a calm experience. There's always something that feels really good. But yet, I'm still so habituated to think that thinking or grasping or obsessing is going to bring me more happiness than the meditation does. And I guess maybe I just haven't crossed into the zone yet enough.
There's a different level of different type of meditation that you have to work on. I don't want to go into it here.
Okay.
You know.
Thanks.
But we will later on, as we go, bring that up again, you know. So anyway, non-focusing. Maybe your partner, your spouse will get mad if you don't focus enough on the partner or whatever. So this is, to really demonstrate this, this is freedom, total freedom, okay? Not holding on to anything, right? Not grasping at anything. This is non-focusing. This is focusing. This is what happens when you focus. See that? Can you begin to see that? This is what happens when we focus. Focusing, we think, is freedom, but it's not. Maybe in a small way it is, but in a larger way it's not. Non-focusing is freedom. Right now, when we don't focus, it doesn't seem as clear because we're not used to it. It's a totally new way of seeing. But as you do the practice, you can see everything very clearly without focusing. The only thing I can say is just a new way of seeing. You have to get used to it.
Brendan?
You know? It's like what they say, the Rome wasn't built overnight. Most people don't become awakened overnight either. Even if they do get awakened, it's another story to stay awakened. It's much harder to stay awakened than to have a glimpse of the awakening.
Brendan, there's something I wanted to share with you and the Sangha, and then I'd love to get your feedback on it, which is that today I had to give a public talk.
Yeah.
And I used to do a lot of public speaking, but I'm a little
You used to do a lot of what?
public speaking.
Yeah.
But I'm a little out of shape, and so I'm part of a public speaking club, and I gave my first talk today,
Yeah.
and I thought I was gonna be okay going into it, but as soon as I started giving the talk, flight or fight system kicked in. The anxiety
Yeah,
kicked in.
yeah, as soon as you start to think about it.
So,
Right. Yeah,
so obviously I just started focusing on the fact that I was giving this presentation to a lot of people that I didn't know.
yeah,
And so, yeah, I lost myself in those thoughts rather than being with the experience of
yeah.
the
Being
talks.
present with what's going on in everybody.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I don't know, that I didn't know these people. What were they? How was my talk going to be perceived?
Those you were thinking about, instead of just getting into, you were thinking of all this, the outcome,
Yes, exactly.
That's what is so unnecessary.
I mean, I wish I would have to give the talk tomorrow. Maybe I could apply some of the stuff that we're talking about tonight. But it happened the other way around. So.
Well, shit, if it works, you gotta pay me.
Too late. I gave the talk already.
I mean, yeah, you can apply this. There's great potential in this simple instruction. It's not the level of complication, the complicatedness of the meditation, the advanced meditation. It depends on to what level, what depth, to what extent you can take these simple instructions. Not look for the instruction that is so deep or whatever. It's not like that. That's the beginner's perception of, far out meditation, how far the meditation can take you. How far you can take almost any instruction and just take it, see how far you can go. Most of it would just really take you far if you just get into it.
I'm having a little bit of difficulty with so when I'm completely new to this, and so everybody says, well, when you meditate, your mind wanders, bring it back.
Right?
But isn't that wandering mind the unfocused part that you're talking about? Or what's the difference between?
Yeah, wandering mind, because you're not, in a way, you're not focused, because you're not focused. Your mind is not attentive. Your mind is not aware. Your mind is not conscious. That's why it goes out. So when we do this practice of non-focusing, I told you one of the positive qualities, automatically you have to be aware, conscious, to be able to do this practice of non-focusing. And you don't have to worry about being aware, separate or extra. That's why your mind doesn't scatter or get distracted when you do this practice of non-focusing. Because it's aware automatically. Without trying to be aware, it is aware when we do this practice of non-focusing. I know it's a lot for the first night, first glance. So it's up to you. So I've thrown the ball in your court, and we'll just leave it at that. So let's dedicate our merit, share our merit, all the positive merit that we have accumulated doing this practice. Just simply offer it. Share it with everybody. We don't need this. Okay, just do it with you. Just really okay. Just really share the merit. Offer it, okay? For the benefit of all beings. Just really, your motivation for doing this was not only for yourself, but for all beings. And you offer, totally offer, okay? Totally let go of all your merit. And just leave it at that.
Thank you, Brandon. So just a few announcements before we head out. So Brendan's teaching this whole weekend. So tomorrow night he'll teach again at 7 o'clock until 9. And then he's teaching on Saturday and Sunday from 10 until noon and 2 until 4. And so if you can't come for all the sessions, it's fine. Just come for whenever you can. And there's some new faces here, so I also wanted to, first of all, welcome you to the center. And second of all, just say that we have book group on Tuesday nights at 6:30. And we just started a new book. And Choji Rinpoche, our teacher, wanted us to study Beyond Religion, which is a book by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And so it talks about the ethical values that go beyond any sort of religion. And even though you missed the first book group, it's fine. You can still join. We have a recording of that first one where Rinpoche taught on that book. So, and then every Tuesday you can come and join us. And then every Thursday, whether Rinpoche or Brendan are here, we always have Thursday night meditation at 7 o'clock. And then every Sunday, we're open from 10 until noon, which is just an open meditation session. So you can come when you want and leave when you want. There's no guided practice for that. Yeah. Thanks again. Thanks, Brendan.